Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. And we got a crew in here. What up, everybody? It'll be Sunday evening. Un momento. Green accordions. What? All right, gamers, you ready? Everything working? Let's test this chat stuff. There we go. Who's ready to talk games? I'm done self-dev now. I'm just a gamer now. Always been a gamer, chat. You'll see. You'll see. Also, this is interactive, so I want to hear from you. If any of these games overlap. I should probably go ahead and start, though, because this might be a pretty long night. So, gotta keep it to an hour, though. True, it's been 84 years since I played a game, but I'm going to talk about playing games today. That's close enough, right? What's going on, guys? Good evening. Hello, how's it going? Good evening, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Welcome in. What's up, Dream? What's up, you? Stabby, Dingus, Ahmed, Bounty, Zriz, JS, Nick. We got the whole crew in here. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. Hope you're having a good night so far. Had a good weekend so far. Excited to talk about some more podcast stuff tonight. It's podcast night, so I figured we would. Also, I don't like, I'm wearing this hoodie, but I don't like these. I don't know. I want to like take this thing out, but it doesn't come out. So I like to rip it. I don't know. I might just take the hoodie off, TBH. I'm going to get hot anyway. What's up, Ralph? How's it going, dude? What's up, Zarek? Boo boo. This is not compute. Is it morning for you, Dingus? It is, it's evening for me. 9 o'clock. Well, I think that like, it must be like anchored in there or something, because I can't like pull it past the middle. So I think it's actually not like a wrap. I don't know. We'll see. I like that hoodie otherwise, but the strings annoy me. Anyway, let's get into it. What's up, Daniel? How's it going, man? Welcome in. Guys, new giveaway is open, by the way. Also, Zog didn't answer, so I was trying to get in hold of them. So if anybody knows Zog, let him know he won a Steam gift card if he replies to me. Let's see if that happens. Hi, Cass. How are you? Good to see you. I'm gonna try. Let me double check that. I think Twitter's set up too. Is that combining in my chat maybe? Also, I have a special playlist for tonight, guys. I didn't get everything that I wanted to have in it, but hopefully it works. We'll see. I'm excited to test it out. Let's test this. Test? Actually, I don't even know how Twitter chat works. Whatever. We'll probably ignore it anyway. What's up? 8 a.m. Is the kid asleep? Yes, kids are asleep here, thankfully. We started skipping the nap, and it's a game changer in terms of actually saving time, which is really nice. Do all 10 games fall in the same genre? No. Although there's definitely some themes you'll see as you go through. So Should we get started? I think we should, because again, this might be a while. So this one I think will be more interactive than the past two in terms of like the yap piece. Let me what do I want to start with here? I may have playlists themed around the stuff I'm going to talk about, but well, you guys know this one's going to be on there probably. It'll some of you guys know a lot of my top picks already, but I'm going to go through. This is actually a cool exercise to do, to pick the top 10. It was very hard to do, so excited for it. Use Nintendo as a theme. We'll see. There may be some Nintendo games in here, but surely everyone has some Nintendo games in here, right? Oh, there's an ad. I'll wait for ad anyway. I don't want to start when the ad is going. We'll wait for that. You're subbed. Yeah, you got a free. You're the first one to redeem that, by the way, Al. I don't know if you can even hear me, but he's supposed to have that. Force ad. Yeah, I should do that thing where like I actually run one. I should really add that to the Steam Deck, the Stream Deck, that I can just run an ad and then be ad free for an hour. That's what I'd be good to do. Yeah, we'll see, Dream. That might be on the list. We'll see. But it's gonna be cool to see how you guys respond to some of this stuff too. Hoping it will be interactive. Oh, also really quickly, let me do this. Over here. Oh, cool. I have chat. Never mind. Chat's. Although it's kind of small, or kind of too big actually. Yeah, I think I have a double chat. Before I get into that, is it caster, chat capture, chat with background? I have too many chats. No, it's not that one. I guess I have a smaller one that I use on my other scenes. So hang on, browser. Gotta be something else. Let me check the rival scene for a sec. What is this one? This is called Social Stream Skinny. Okay, we got it. Let me do that really quick. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you, Zarek. How's it going, dude? Welcome in. How's your night going so far? Get ready for the discussion here. So, Social Stream Skinny. There we go. Okay, let me take this and just shrink it a little bit. And put you guys up here-ish. I mean, even like the giveaway entries show in the chat. That's crazy. We'll make it like that, maybe. That works for me. Also, make sure this is actually full screen. There we go. A little better. What's up, Fire King? How's it going, dude? Welcome in. Good to see you. The PowerPoint is back. I actually made a PowerPoint for this one. I was grinding trying to get this done before stream today, so hopefully it'll turn right. Make sure it's size right in vertical side too. Like that. And I don't know if anybody's watching on vertical, but I guess I'll pop on my Osmo cam if that's also working, because it just fills up the bottom, so why not? All right, there we go. Boom, boom. Extra content, baby. Crazy is a wild way to say annoying. It's true. It's true. Cooking dinner, nice, Eric. We'll get ready for a nice listening session while you're cooking dinner. You can also interact, but I think it'll definitely be listening focused. So, all right, chat. Want to talk about some games? Let's do it. Let's start my music really first, and we'll just start with this one because it's on the YouTube cover, so we'll get through it. All right, guys, welcome back to the Ben Green Show, the BG Show. Today we're going to talk about my top 10 games I'll never forget. Is what title I came up with here. The basic idea is games that these aren't necessarily the games that are my favorite games. I think there's a strong overlap in that category, but it's more games that made an impact on me, especially on my development and kind of the games that I like overall. Games that really stuck with me and I have very strong memories about. Because I think that's not always the same thing. Sometimes you like a game a lot, you've played a game a lot, but it's not a game that like impacted you personally and left a lasting impression with you, or that you have very distinct memories about growing up. So I'm gonna walk through, and these are ranked. It was really hard to rank them, and there's an honorable mentions piece that we'll get to pretty soon too, so stay tuned for that. But I'm gonna walk through, and I want to hear you guys as well as we go through. Again, more interactive than usual. Let me know if any of these overlap with yours, and if you have specific memories on certain games we go through, let me know, because they'll read through them as we go too. But this is one that people always ask me what my favorite game is. I think I've answered that before. You might know what my favorite game is if you've watched before, but the other 9 games will probably be surprising, and also the order and the thought here was cool to think through. So I encourage you to make your own list if you're interested, and share it, because it's a cool thing to do. Let's walk through the first 10. So let me try to cue this up. By the way, for those listening and watching, this is a bit of a special episode where I'm tying music in a little bit to the episode. I can't play music on Spotify and iTunes if you're listening on those after the fact. But if you go to the YouTube VOD, there will be a version with the music if you want that. So full disclaimer, because I can't add that stuff. Also, I would have gameplay on here if I could, but again, copyright on YouTube and Spotify and stuff. So I'm just having the titles and the cover art of stuff. So keep that in mind. Okay, let me cue up the music for the first one here. Try to get a song for each game, but I didn't have enough for all of them. So we're gonna go through. I think I have one. Yes, I do. All right, we'll do probably this one, I think. All right, so first one for me for number 10 is Kingdom Hearts 2. Again, this was really hard to pick where each one went, but to me, this fits in my top 10 section. This is of all, a couple games in this list, it was very hard for me to pick a single game in the franchise, but I picked this one, and you'll see, like, I limited myself to one game per series. So I can only pick one Kingdom Hearts game. Other games that we get to later, I can only pick one in that series. But I think of all the Kingdom Hearts games, this is the one that I really got into. I also played a lot of the DS game. That was a close second. But this is, I think, overall my favorite one, and the one I have the strongest memories for, which is a pun, of course, with Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is weird, to be fair. There's a lot of interesting things about Kingdom Hearts where, you know, the lore is known to be a bit crazy for good reason. It doesn't make a ton of sense, especially after the first game. The first game, I think, was sort of understandable. The second game, especially the third game, got really chaotic, and there was all the spin-offs and everything. But I really was pretty into the second one, to be honest with you, and I kind of loved the lore. I think after 2, in my opinion, is where it started getting a bit crazy with so many spin-offs and things. But the core idea of 2 was really cool. Roxas in particular is my favorite character in all of Kingdom Hearts, because I think he's really cool. And yeah, I think the gameplay was also very, very fun. I liked 2 better than 1 personally, and I also was just more personally attached to it. I had more, kind of investment in the story, and it was the one that I played through. Like, kind of watched my brother and friends play the first one, but the second one is the first one that, like, I had a PS2 for, and I played. I think it was actually probably my most played PS2 game, or the game that I most fondly remember the PS2 of is the Kingdom Hearts 2, because this was so kind of tied in for me. So this is definitely, I think, again, hard to fit in the top 10 exactly. I would say this is not one I like think about as much anymore, but back in like high school days, I was really into Kingdom Hearts lore. I'd like draw a lot of the characters, and my brother would make remixes for the music. That was a whole thing he did for a while. So yeah, and they did the strategy book and everything. Yeah, there was actually so much to do. I think I did 100% this game, which is very rare for me. If you guys know me, I don't often 100% stuff too much. So it was pretty impressive that I actually did that. But yeah, there was some pretty cool parts to this too, in terms of like the boss rush thing. There was some sort of gauntlet in the Hades area where you could spend a ton of time maxing out to get like the super keyblade, the ultimate keyblade, and I definitely did that. I collected all the collectibles in every part. There were some parts of the game that were bad for sure, like the gummy ship stuff I never liked that much, or Winnie the Pooh stuff, or the Little Mermaid singing stuff. But dude, the combat was the best thing. I love like the super floaty combat with the super long chain combos, and you have the drive modes with all the different options of like his forms you can swap into. It was just so much fun, and it's, again, not realistic, but it's like super satisfying to play as Sora and just combo people to forever. So long. PS2 era was different, Dingus. I agree, dude. I mean, there's PS2 with so many good games, but to me, this is the one. I kind of had a PS2 later on. I didn't have PS2 right when it first came out, and this game is the one I really like spent the most time playing on PS2, I think. So to me, this is where this one fits. I get a friend that posted a lot. Fair. Al, you only played the first one, never played the others. Fair. Again, there's so many games in this series. I mean, there were DS games, there were PSP games, there were mobile games, and they try to make every single game really important to the story. So that was always a little tricky to follow. And 3, I think 3 is tough because it took forever to come out, and it was kind of a mess. And now there's 4, which is going to be, I don't know, hopefully it's at least fun. The gameplay looks very different than the other ones, but we'll see. Anyway, that's number 10. Definitely has a soft spot in my heart. I'm excited for the next one to come out, and still love, even though it's a mess, I still love this series quite a bit and played a lot of this with my family and friends in the past. What do you think of the H-Ju 2.5 remix? Is that the one that had like the fight against Roxas and stuff, and some of the other like, I didn't do some of that stuff, I think, because it was a later release, but I did like it a lot. Also, I have notes on my phone I forgot, so I'm gonna look at these while I go through, because I don't want to forget all the stuff I wrote down as I go through. Okay, chat, we're gonna go on to number 2, which this one was tough for me to place. I think like the top 5 felt more solid to me, especially the top 4, but 10 to 6 was a little tricky, and there's definitely some curveballs you'll see in here that I'm gonna get memed about, but I'm okay with that. That's what it's for. All right, I think I have maybe one song off this one. It's hard. I'm trying to find like ambient songs that aren't just, you know, overtures that are super intense, but here's this here, second one. What's up, Kevin? All right, so number 9, Zelda Twilight Princess. I had to have at least one Zelda game on here. I feel like I love the Zelda series. I don't think I'm as into the Zelda series as other people, because it's one of those games that's like one of those series that's just iconic in gaming, right? A lot of people have Ocarina of Time as the number 1. I never really played through Ocarina of Time fully. I also never had an N64 growing up, so I think that impacts my placement here. The game that I connected the most with, you know, I played through Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, a bunch of the DS games, Wind Waker, stuff like that, but to me, Twilight Princess is the one that felt like my Zelda game. And I also feel like it's kind of like the hidden gem of mainline Zelda releases. So for me, that's the one I'm really tied into. I love the whole, I mean, more kind of mature. At the time when this game came out, it was really, it felt super realistic in terms of the design for it, right? And your how cool and realistic and grounded Link was compared to some of the past games. And then of course they went the other way with Wind Waker. But I remember like having Nintendo Power growing up and reading about it, and reading about like people going to E3 and playing the game and how excited they were for it, and just playing the whole thing through on GameCube as well, because it was on GameCube and Wii. I played it on GameCube. It was like one of the last GameCube releases, I think. And again, another single player game, which is rare for me, that I just fully got obsessed with and binged. I like have clear memories playing this in middle school, where I would just like play for hours and hours and hours and just grind through by myself with nobody else, which is, I'm almost always playing games with someone, whether it's like a family member or streaming or whatever, but sometimes a game really sucks me in, and this is one of the ones that I was just totally immersed in. Twilight Princess is a hot take, or Majora's Mask. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I kind of like having, I don't know if you guys feel this way, I kind of like having games that are like my thing in a weird way. And that's not even just games, but like music and media and stuff, like finding something that's like a hidden gem or kind of like your personal thing. So I feel that way with Twilight Princess a little bit. That's why I hope there's a remake. I really love the music in this game, obviously. Like I could pull a lot more music in for the soundtrack, but every Zelda game has really fantastic music. That's one of the best things about Zelda, is they've really dialed in how to take musical themes and perfect them over 20 years and reuse them. I think they do that better than most of the series in this list. Actually do that very well. I'm very tied into music in gaming, you'll see as we go through this, but yeah, I was really tied into Zelda. My other notes that I have here, the scale of the game, like again, this is all different because of when these games came out, but at the time Hyrule felt huge, and the fact that you could just go through the entire thing for the most part, I think without loading at all. It's like you can just run through the entire loop of the map and just keep riding opponent through the whole thing without loading a whole lot. That was kind of mind-blowing at the time, just how big it was. Again, I think this is probably my favorite overall Link, and I like the story a lot with like the darker and the light world kind of thing, and being a little bit more unpredictable in terms of the, I mean, it was still, you know, again at the end and stuff, but I really like the whole style of this game. So I hope we get a remake at some point. It was a lot of fun to play. Good music absolutely elevates games. Agree, Dream. Yeah, and all these games, you know, I think I really appreciate games that can do something, it's just a little bit music nerdy, but where they can take a musical theme or motif and make it really core to the game. That's like, when you hear that theme, you just know it's that game. And Zelda has that. I think Kingdom Hearts has that. A bunch of other games on this list that we're gonna talk about have that. So to me, that matters a lot. And like, those are the games that when you go to like a concert or something, or just you know, classics. And Zelda is maybe the best one here though, because Zelda has like multiple musical themes that are all iconic, and it's rare enough for a game to have one of those. Zelda has, I mean, and Nintendo just does this very well overall, I will say, but like Zelda really does the grand, you know, epic adventure thing so well with so many different themes. And yeah, Midna's Lament's the one that's unique to this one, but obviously they have all the other actual hero themes they have here as well. Okay. And I do love the other ones too. Wind Waker is great. I tend to love like really more, what's the word? Kind of like colorful and whimsical types of games. This isn't, I mean, it's still kind of that, you know, compared to Wind Waker, it's not, but this is a rare game that I like, kind of like more the darker, for a Nintendo game, this was a darker game overall at the time. All right, let's go up to the next one. Number 8, Smash Bros. Brawl. Okay, so again, I had to limit myself for one entry per series in here, and this one was tough because there are so many good Smash Bros. Games that I have really good memories playing. Obviously, Melee is like most people's go-to game. This is probably a hot take, having Brawl here over, you know, either Melee or even Ultimate potentially, or the original. But for me, Brawl is the one that I think I played the most overall, and that I really got into at the time, because I mean, I think if you guys are a millennial like me, you probably have memories playing Melee growing up at some point, because it's still, I think, the best-selling game ever made on GameCube. So, masterpiece. But I played a lot of Melee, decent amount of Melee growing up. I had like the GameCube that came with the Melee bundle, and then Brawl came out. At the time, Brawl was, you know, again, graphic-wise, like the jump from I think the GameCube to the Wii era felt huge at the time because of how much better the characters looked. I remember like following on the website, the director would like release all these daily updates on the game's development. And I remember like when Sonic got announced for Brawl, that was like mind blowing at the time. Nowadays, I mean, you know, there's crossovers in like Fortnite's announcing 17 new crossovers tomorrow. But at the time when they announced Sonic and Snake in this one was super cool. And Sonic, I was a huge Sonic fan in general, so that was just cool to see. But also with this one in particular, I think I add here because I played a lot of Brawl when it first came out, probably, I think it was like 2008 or so, with, you know, kind of high school buddies. And I was pretty good. I was like, you know, just beating my friends, my brother pretty well. And then I went to college, and I talked to this last stream. I realized that I was good for my friend group, but the college level was a different level, man. My entire dorm in college, our first floor, almost everybody on the floor played Smash Bros. Brawl. We would have entire like 20 to 30 man group tournaments in the lobby of our dorm with everyone playing Brawl. And it was like my first real kind of, I mean, I had played like some tournaments here and there before, but this was like a different level of like, whoa, gaming can get like really competitive and fun. And so I got super hooked on Brawl. I remember I played Kirby, and I still play Kirby, but there was a couple guys like in my dorm who one played Wolf, one played DDD, and I just thought they were like beasts. They just beat everybody. They're impossible to beat. And I would just like grind for hours against him, the Wolf player, lose every time for an hour, but like still be willing to play and beat him. And I feel like I've not had that feeling in a Smash Bros. Game since. I like Ultimate a lot, but the competitiveness that I had around Brawl and the community was so impactful for me. So for me, that's why Brawl is the winner here. I think also there's some cool things about Brawl specifically, like this is I think the only one that has a really good story mode. The Melee is a decent kind of story thing, but like the subspace thing in Brawl was actually kind of cool. It was gimmicky, but like it was still pretty cool to watch the cutscenes even today. I liked it quite a bit. So yeah, I definitely got humbled, but like that's why Smash Bros. Is so good to me. And I still call it a fighting game, man, because like if there was ever a fighting game community I was into, it was Smash Bros. And people took it very seriously. I would like look up like counters and combos and 2v2 battles, and like there was so much to do with Brawl in college. So very, very soft spot in my heart for this game. And I still love playing Smash Bros. And I hope we get a new one eventually, and I can play with my kids at some point. That's the dream. But yeah, this one for me means the most. Also, the soundtrack's actually really good, and they added like the custom maps in this one for the first time, which I did spend a lot of time doing back when it first released, and that was a cool way to kind of get into like creating on the game side too. Yeah, the items, we don't talk about the items. only items off, obviously, in Smash Bros. We don't allow items, of course. I'm gonna move this guy's like down here, maybe. I don't know. I might turn the chat off actually, just if like it's covering too much of this stuff. But I'm just making some adjustments on the fly. But yeah, this is the one that I think, I mean, you can do items obviously, but like if you're doing the 1v1, man, 1v1 in Smash Bros, no items, Final Destination, what was it, like 7 minutes, 3 stocks? That's the classic way to go, man. That's the classic way to go. You're a Viking chariot, dude. I will say, like, this game is really fun to put time into and rewarding. I mean, any fighting game, I think the cool part is like you control your character and that's it. So it is really fun to learn and get better at. I respect it. Okay, moving on to number 7, because I have to keep this clipping at a decent speed here. But feel free to chime in as we go, like I said, if these resonate with you as well. Okay, number 7, baby. This might be a curveball for some people. World of Warcraft is my number 7 and the only MMO on this list. This is probably the first PC game I really got into that was a proper PC game, I think, thinking back on it. You know, I put like some educational stuff here and there, but I distinctly remember back in, I think I got into this around like 2007 or so, and this game just like took over my brain. I could not do anything except think about this game. And also, dude, you talk about how mind-blowing games used to be growing up. Playing WoW for the first time as, I guess I was like 7th grade or something. The scale of WoW was just like incomprehensible. It was, and I don't know when you played it, Al, but yeah, like I think it was one of the first games where I could kind of customize my character and control my character, and it wasn't, you weren't just playing as like, you know, another character or hero or something that was a preset character. You created your own character, and I think that was probably one of the first games that I did that with, and it was like, I just, even like getting the simple, like I have like the level 2 boots, right? I have leather boots now. I can learn leather working. Like something about that whole character customization thing was really just mind-blowing at the time. But then also obviously the scale of the world and also the design of the world. I think I still love the aesthetic of WoW, probably more than almost any MMO. You know, we've played a lot of MMOs since then, and I do like Guild Wars 2 a lot. That's a close second for me. But I love like the colorful kind of design language of WoW quite a bit. It's almost kind of similar to League in some ways, and some of these other games that are on my list, but I really love that whole design. And I just remember, like, you know, first of all, my brother and I at the time, we actually shared an account, which was really fun because we had one computer in the family, and we didn't realize we could make multiple accounts. Or at the time it wasn't a problem because like only one of us could play at one time. So we would literally, like, I'd play for an hour, log off, then he'd get on, play for an hour, log off, and we just watch each other play the whole time. So I have like really strong memories of that with my brother, and we both played a ton of WoW. Every time summer came around, they'd give you like free game time, and it was tough for us to get like a sub in WoW. So we'd either like just grind to 20 and stop, or just get the free game time and keep stacking that because you could like do that back in the day. I definitely remember doing that a lot. But yeah, man, I loved like how, obviously people know how much you can get sucked into WoW, and for me as a kid, like, man, it was so immersive. And so I have a soft spot in my heart for that. Even still today, like when summer comes around, it's like, man, I could go for some WoW right now because that's what I grew up with, and I really miss it. Yeah, I did it for an entire weekend out, but like, when did you play it? I feel like that really impacts it, man. Yeah, the fact, Dream, that like you could, like, just getting out of the starting zone in WoW takes a while, and then you're like, wait a minute, this is just one zone and there's an entire continent, and then you're like, wait a minute, this is one continent and there's 3 continents. And you're like spending an hour to like run to one city, and you're like, there's 40 more cities in this world. Like my seventh grade brain couldn't comprehend the scale of it, but it was also like just completely addicting. Just like, I have to go see everything. Like, I have to explore it all. Also, playing with friends was just the best, man. With this, like, if you're someone who's into social gaming, like leveling up and raiding and going on dungeon runs with buddies, like, there's just no better way to do it at the time. So it was just a masterpiece of a game at the time. It's still good probably, but you know, at the time it was just totally mesmerizing. Remember ganking Lobies and Stranglethorn Vale? Yeah, DJ. I mean, I just always love like getting into the new zone and seeing like how different each zone was, you know. That was always really cool to see. You know, I loved like the Night Elf starting zone personally the most. I would just like restart that over and over again to that loop. But there were so many different types of you know, classes and zones and world design. So that was always really cool to see. And yes, straight, these are my top 10 games. I'm going through, I got to speed up a little bit here because I'm at 9:30 already on number 7. So let's, we'll keep moving, but I think I got most of the fun to say there. Let me double check my list of notes for this one just to check. Music too. Music is really good in WoW. That's one thing that I could pull more in here off the playlist, but all the zones are really cool. There's a lot of iconic themes for WoW as well. And you can just listen to the WoW music as like an ambient thing while you're working. So it's so good. So that's worth mentioning as well. And yeah, this game got my head. I remember like, it was the first time that I would like look up things for a game on like how to get gold fast and like how to, you know, tips and tricks and things. Because that was kind of the first time that the internet was taking off that way around this time versus some of those older games. And you need some of that information. So man, this game just, I remember like getting off this game, I just could not stop thinking about it. It was like, okay, when I get back on tomorrow, I'm gonna do this thing and do this thing. I have to go get this thing and I have to like, how can I do that? You know, that feeling when a game gets in your head and you just can't stop thinking about the next time you get to play, that's like, to me, the best part of gaming. And it can be dangerous sometimes, but I haven't had that in a minute. And so that's why I'm doing this list, is like, I want to tell you guys my list and then get your thoughts too on games that had this impact on you that we can maybe share with each other. Okay, go to the next one for number 6, Tunic. Oh, this game. You know, this game may even be higher. It's really hard to place this game. And of course, fair credit to Stress. He always mentions the credit for this when I do this. But dude, fantastic. Tunic is, I think this is the newest game on the list, if I'm looking at my list here. And yeah, there's one that's kind of like a two-parter that's coming up, you'll see. But this game, I think, is probably the one in most recent memory that made the biggest impact on me. And because, first of all, the music, man, you're hearing it right now. This has, like, to me, a top 5 soundtrack in any game I've played, period. Something about this music in this game is so unique and just so much my style that I just listen to this soundtrack all the time. There's another one, too, that's on this list. That's that category. But fantastic game. I will say the thing about this game is it has layers to it. Okay, so yeah, I highly recommend you install it, Dream. It's like, it's free on Game Pass a lot of times, I think, and just cheap in general. But this game, I even have, I don't often buy things like merch. I bought this guy because this game made such an impact on me. This is a game that I 100%ed a game. I don't often 100% games. It takes a really important and special game for me to do that. But the thing with this game is that it starts out and there's different layers to it. Like I said, there's kind of like 3 layers to this game, I would say, of like what the game actually is. And the thing for me is I loved all 3 of those levels. It just kept getting better for me. Like, I've talked to my brother, he was like, yeah, I kind of got to this point, like I couldn't keep playing by this point because it kind of got boring. I was like, dude, I just loved it, like all the layers of this game. I won't spoil it because this game is very much based on going in blind. So don't look at, if you play this game, don't look at anything on it, go in blind and just experience it. But which makes it hard to talk about because I don't want to like spoil too much about what this game is. But yeah, I would say like give yourself time for it to explore it, because at the surface level, like the concept was that it's obviously very Zelda inspired on the design, but it's not a Zelda game. It's a combination of different types of games, which I actually like better than the base games. So yeah, I could rant about this a lot. I don't want to do too many spoilers because spoilers are a huge part of this game. But yeah, I think also the design of this game, like something about not only the music, but like the visual design of this game with the isometric camera and the very colorful kind of polygon looks and the movement, it's all just very up my alley in terms of like, this game makes you feel really inspired and excited to be alive. I don't know. As for me, like I love games like this that like are uplifting in a way and motivating, and also that there are, I don't want to spoil it. There's things to learn about the game as you go through it. So yeah, can't say enough good things to this game. I might even put it higher, to be honest. It's just some of these other games to me are like foundational to my entire core. So yeah, once the lore starts to make sense, it made you so emotional. Yeah, Fabus, like, dude, it was so much fun to play through. Totally agree. Okay, moving on to number 5. You know this one had to be in here, ladies and gentlemen. You know it had to be here. League of Legends, baby. League of Legends. And again, this one could even be higher. This is probably my most played game on the list. Number one might be more played. I don't know. I actually can't look it up. But this is, at this point, this is probably my most played game on the list. And I don't play it as much right now, even in the last like year as I used to. But, and people are going to meme me for this one, but this one is legitimately very impactful on me. And I have really strong memories. I've played this game for about 10 years. Which again, I think is the most I've played a single game for, and that's just because of live service being a thing now. But I still think, so the reason why I have this here is that if you have a full group of people playing League of Legends in a group, in something like a Clash or ranked fives, I think it is like the most fun I've ever had in multiplayer gaming, period. It takes conditions, right? That's not every game. There's a lot of bad games you have like this, and like any competitive online game, where you're gonna get teammates who feed or toxicity or cheaters or whatever. But like, if you get those rare games where you're in a full group of friends and you're working in sync, and everything goes according to your plan, and you're just working there as a team, dude, it's like, it's so satisfying. It's true. Like, and even compared to other games, you know, I know you're saying like, now imagine this in Deadlock, Cal. The thing is, there's something unique about MOBAs, I think. It might be true about like Valorant and CS too, but what I like about MOBAs in the traditional sense is like the camera really lets you appreciate what other people are doing. Like even in Rivals, right? If your teammate makes a really good play, like you can see the kill feed happening, you can see things happening, and that's cool, but like you can't fully appreciate the mechanics of what that person did. In a top-down MOBA, like if someone on your team makes a crazy play or something, you can see everything he's doing or they're doing, and you know, gas them up. And I don't know, that's why it's a weird spectator sport in that like it's impossible to know what's happening for a new person, but for someone who understands the game, watching a pro level game of League is like, you can really appreciate what's happening a lot better there. So yeah, and I guess I just have so many memories of this game, man. I mean, I've gone on trips for this game to like the World Finals with friends. I've had so many nights staying up till 3 a.m. playing with 5 people for 6 hours together and just having a great time. So like, I can't help but really put this on here because I think this is, no, I have one more multiplayer game in this list, but you know, of like the traditional ones these days, it means a lot to me. Also, like the world and the music and the art of League is fantastic too. You're hearing the music in the universe right now. There's so much music for League. I was looking for like art to put on the slide, and I forgot how much just insane art there is for League of Legends. I mean, there's literally like tens of thousands of splash arts for characters that are all ridiculously amazing. So and the world too, this is why I'm so excited for a Riot MMO, man, because you saw WoW was on my list. So if they make a League of Legends MMO with that design and hopefully like keeping some of the actual good game design in there, it could be really, really good. Like that to me might be the next big game I get into, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. Yeah, Arcane exists, Dream. Like the fact that Arcane is on here is crazy. There's so many things that spun off of League. Also, it rewards, I think League, maybe more than any other game on this list, maybe Smash is similar, it really rewards mastery put into something. Like if you want to get really good at something and feel the payoff in it, I think this is one of the best games for it. Now you might be like, again, you know, teammates can do whatever, you get feeders and everything, whatever, but like if you want to get really good at a certain character in a certain matchup in this game, there's just so much to learn. And like the difference in this game is people who put the time in and know their characters' matchups and everything, it really, really shows on how there's just so much to learn in this game. And if you put the time in, if you have the time, it does reward you in that way. So I really appreciate that. And like I could really master a character and just felt like there was always something more to learn, which I don't always have that in other games, right? So that was a cool piece as well. Anything else that I have? Let me see. World design's amazing. And yeah, I think it's probably my best overall multiplayer gaming experience. All right. You guys ready for top 4? Any other League meme comments? League versus Dota, I think they're comparable. Like to me, I prefer League over Dota because of the design of like the more colorful design. There's a lot of colorful games on my list here just because I like that kind of aesthetic. But you know, in another world, it could have been Dota as well. I think they're somewhat interchangeable in terms of just which one you got into at which time. Okay, moving on to number 4. This one was tough too, man. But let's do this song before we get in here. All right, Ori and the Blind Forest. The music, man, the music. I talked about Tunic's music. To me, Tunic and Ori are the 2 games that have music that came out in the last like 5-10 years that is like generational. And I love Tunic's music, but Gareth Coker, I have to start with music. I'll get to the game, I promise. The music in this game, if you're someone who's into music, it's just phenomenal. Like I just hear this song and and you guys are audio listeners, you don't hear the music, I apologize. Go listen to the VOD. I would just listen to this soundtrack while working like all the time because it's so good. And again, what the composer does so well in this game, again, I'll get to the game, is he takes that core motif and just reuses it over and over and over and makes it so definitive to the game. So I just have to talk about that first because that's always my first thought with this game is music. But the visuals too, man. This game is gorgeous. Like I wish I could show you gameplay. You can see it in the cover art here, but this game is just a masterpiece where like every single frame could be a painting. It's very much on my alley in terms of like the really bright visual design, the music and the movement and everything really ties together. And it's a Metroidvania, which is probably my favorite non-multiplayer gaming category or genre, which you'll see in a second. Yeah, to me, the hard part was picking a single game here, Dingus, because really the Blind Forest and Will o' the Wisps go like hand in hand to me. And you know, if I have to pick one, I would probably take the original because it was like the first one, you know, it kind of built the series. And the second one added like some combat, it was longer, some more other, you know, you like pick your branching path. So to me, the first one was just kind of like the definitive game, but they're both great. I love both of them. These are games that I own on multiple platforms, which again is very rare. I have this on Switch and Steam, and I would probably get it again on others because I love this one so much. It really rewards movement. And I will say, Hollow Knight and Silksong did not make it onto my list. They were very close, but I prefer Ori over Hollow Knight. I think you always kind of talk about these two together because they came out kind of around the same time and they do similar things, but in different ways. So for me, Ori is the winner, mostly because like it really rewards movement in a way that's like Hollow Knight's very precise in how you play the game, right? If you're really a precise person, that feels good. Ori is about like moving fast and really like fluidly together, which if you get into the zone with Ori, you're chaining like your grabs together, your jumps, your dashes, you're just kind of like flowing through the map. And there's a little bit of that with Hollow Knight, but it's never quite like as fast, you know? I know how I'm getting there, dude. Might go a little past 10, okay? Don't rush me. I have to yap my favorite games here a little bit. I love Ori. What else do I have on here to say? Music, I can talk about music forever. The music in this is amazing, but also like, again, the art is really good. Also the story is like very uplifting and inspirational, and it's not anything like complex, but to me, like the gameplay specifically is just addictive in this game. And so that's why I like to say that. But yeah, highly recommend you should play through it. They're both great though. I love the second one as well. If I have to pick one per series, pick the first one because it's the definitive one. All right, moving on to number 3. Let's see if I have a song for this one. I think I have one song. These are hard to find songs for because it's copyrighted. Maybe I don't. I'll just keep it on this one, or I'll do this one. All right, for number 3, Pokemon Crystal. You know there's gonna be one Pokemon on here, and again, this one was hard for me to pick a single game for, but to me, Crystal's like the one that's my Pokemon game. So some background here. I kind of consider the first game I ever played to be Pokemon Blue. I think that was probably the first proper game I played that was an actual video game, not like an educational one. But Crystal's the one that I have more strong memories for because it kind of like I played more of it and it kind of felt like more Game Freak hitting their stride a little bit. Blue did a lot of things great. Blue and Red did a lot of things great. Crystal did a lot of things very, very well that were like new. I loved Emerald. Emerald was close too, but Crystal feels the one that like was for me specifically. Well, I thought this game was specifically like what it did around making you feel special as a person, which to me it was the first time this has happened in a game. And again, nowadays it won't be the same, but like the fact that, because again, they had like the gold and silver versions, but in the crystal version, Suicune right here like chose you as the player, and you go through the whole game and you're like chasing Suicune around and he keeps like appearing to you. And like, dude, as a kid, because I was really young when this game came out, that was, you know, I didn't know the difference between like me and the character, and that was just such a cool moment. There was some other cool things this game did that were really cool too. Obviously, Pokemon's amazing. Like, if you're, especially the first 3 gens, if you grew up with Pokemon, I think it's hard not to be a little nostalgia glasses around Pokemon. So it was great. No, but you would like at the time, like as a kid, man, you don't realize like everyone else has the same game. So like that experience for you as a kid is like, whoa, you know. But there were other mechanics like that in the game that were just the first time I'd seen this in a game. Like the other 2 Pokemon, Entei and Raikou, however you say them, they would like move around the map in real time. You have to like chase them around, and they'd react to how you move around the game. Like this game felt like it reacted to you doing things in a way that was different than like your choices made an impact, right? There was also the day and night cycle for the first time, where the game would like in real time, you know, be daytime in game and nighttime in game. And there were even things like I distinctly remember like telling my mom I had to stay up to play at night past my bedtime because I had to get an Umbreon. I was like, Mom, like this thing only evolves at night. Like I have to do. I remember where I was as a kid at the beach, grinding my Game Boy with Crystal at night to get an Umbreon. Like games like that leave a memory like that are rare, right? So like that means a lot to me. And then also like the biggest thing, this is a spoiler, but if you haven't played Pokemon Crystal at this point, like I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil it for you. You get through like what you think is the whole game, right? You get through, beat the Elite Four, beat everything, you back to the main town, you surf across the little canal, and then you realize there's an entire second half of the game. Like, to me, that's like, I mean, I know this has been done in other games at this point, but again, as a kid, and even now, it's like, that was one of the coolest moments in gaming to realize, like, there's a whole second half to the game. Like, they brought the entire first region over again. Not fully, but yeah, that was such a cool moment. Like, this game had so many cool things like that just made you feel like it was reacting to you. Even like the story was more unique than like the first games, I think, with Red and Blue, which was like kind of regular, but you know, this one introduced like the real legendary Pokemon having an impact and like a story to follow as you went through the game instead of just like showing up at the end. So yeah, going back to Kanto was crazy, man. And yeah, I did. They do it now, but like the amount of stuff they packed into this game, and even like at the end, right? Going to fights against Red with like the level 80 Pokemon was like crazy at the time. And the fact that you could go back through Elite Four again and yeah, so like this whole generation, I think, is the one that I hold the most love for. I still love Emerald and Sapphire and Blue and even like up to Diamond, really, but like Crystal's my favorite one that I just think is like my Pokemon game personally. Yeah, Cherry, I mean, I think everyone's a Pokemon fan to a degree, right? So that's number 3. On to number 2, and this might be like a little unexpected for you guys. I don't think I have no, I have one song for this one. Let's do this one. All right, so number 2, Metroid Fusion is my number 2. So this was, I think, the hardest one to pick a single game for, because I actually love every Metroid game, pretty much every Metroid game. Prime was close. Hunters, if you guys play Metroid Hunters, the DS, I was so into Metroid Hunters. That game, multiplayer, was mostly phenomenal. The problem is that the single player, the story in that game was awful. So I can't put it as my number 2. Even Zero Mission was really good. Dread was really good. Like the Metroid is the Nintendo series to me that feels like, again, I talked about it, like I like having like my thing in a way that is a little bit different. And Metroid's my favorite overall Nintendo series, I think. But yeah, Fusion, I think I had to put it as number 1 because of how unique the story was. I'm not sure if everyone's played this game, but it's a little bit more like a lot of the other Metroid games are kind of the same thing every time, where you know you fight Ridley at some point, like you lose all your stuff at the start, and then you go through and get it all and go fight Ridley at the end, and Metroid, whatever. This one's very different in the story for the game, and also this is the first game I played as kid-ish. I think it was like 2006 or something, 5, I don't know, where it really introduced like the concept of scary or like fear in games a little bit. Probably not as much as like Resident Evil in those games, obviously, but like for me at the time, it definitely did that in a way that was different, even compared to other Metroid games, because it had, if you're not familiar with Metroid Fusion, it's a different concept where you go through and it has like this special suit and she doesn't get her usual stuff. That's the thing about this. Like typically you go through in every Metroid game, you get your missiles, you get your beam, you get your Varrier suit, whatever. In this game, like you've had some sort of like you've been attacked at the start of the game and you had a different suit that had to respond differently. So all your upgrades are different than usual because it's not compatible with this suit. And also there's like a version of, so your main suit becomes like possessed basically and starts hunting you in the game, and there's multiple of them hunting you and you like run into them and they chase you and try to kill you. Like it was actually kind of creepy at the time, and I think it's a more unique concept. Plus I love the story of this game too, because again there's not a lot of story in Metroid games usually. It's like find bosses, kill bosses, you know, get to Mother Brain, kill Mother Brain, get out, live. In this one there's like an AI, I guess it's an AI or something that is like directing you somewhere, but it has like kind of evil intent, or it's not telling you who it actually is, and then there's a plot twist in it, and it's much more engaging story wise. So yeah, I think this is the one that sticks out to me as my favorite Metroid overall, but I love all of them, to be clear, and I hope we get more of them because Dread was great. Super Metroid Fusion was the best era. Yeah, Super Metroid was also very good. I played that a lot later. I think if I had played that when it came out, I'd probably have that up here, but I played Metroid Fusion when it came out, and again it was on Game Boy Advance, and I was just obsessed with that game. That and Zero Mission I kind of played like in tandem, but I think of the two, Fusion is like more memorable to me because Zero Mission is kind of just the standard Samus story. So yeah, but Super Metroid is also very, very good. I liked it a lot, and it has some of the similarities with Fusion here. I just think Super Metroid also has like some of the same kind of, you know, it was an early entry in the series, but I feel like Metroid has suffered sometimes from doing the same story too many times. And Super Metroid is definitely that, whereas this is a very different story that still fits into it pretty well. All right, guys, we're at 9:54. I move on to honorable mentions, okay? And yes, Durando Hunters, dude, I played so much Metroid Hunters. Like, I really want to put that here, but I couldn't justify it because the main story was just terrible. All right, honorable mentions time. These were all very close to making a list, but I just couldn't fit them in the top 10. They weren't quite impactful for me enough, but I want to like show them, at least talk to them a little bit. Hollow Knight and Silksong, both love both of those. I haven't finished Silksong completely, but like I still love the feeling of those games. Metroidvanias, which you've seen. I love Metroid stuff and Metroidvanias, so that makes a lot of sense. Guitar Hero, dude, I played so much Guitar Hero growing up. I couldn't quite fit it though, because like it didn't have the same like core impact on my memories in games the same way. Like I play actual guitar too, so I think that's part of it. Yeah, Mirror's Edge, Al. I just love like the aesthetic of Mirror's Edge so much. Like the futuristic, bright city you're running through with movement. It's like such a great idea for a game, and I love those like bright, colorful games overall. So that's definitely one I put in it. The music is also very good in that game. Overwatch I put on here because I did play a lot of Overwatch back in the day. I've not played it recently, but like definitely one of the multiplayer games I put the most time into, and that's why I play Rivals now. Kirby Air Ride, I played a ton of that with my family growing up. Love that game. Sonic, dude, Sonic is weird because like I feel like I love the Sonic series overall, but when I sat down and think about like a certain game, I couldn't think of like a certain a specific Sonic game that I really loved. Like I played a lot of the Game Boy Advance games, DS games, GameCube, even like the Sonic 06 game I didn't really mind too much, but like not enough to be my top 10. I don't know, it's hard to pick. Yeah, it doesn't exactly. It's like I couldn't pick a single game to put in the list, but definitely the Sonic series overall is very impactful for me and memorable. So also the PlayStation games, man, Crash Team Racing, Spyro, even like Spider-Man could go there. Spyro in particular, I love Spyro 3, and that was very close to being on the list, but like it wasn't memorable enough or something. I like the sandbox of it, but it doesn't stick with me the same way. And then Accession 33, that's again one of the newer ones on here. I love that game, but I don't think about that game still, if that makes sense. Like, it was good for the time, but like, I don't think it's like a generational game for me. It doesn't make sense. Definitely game of the year at the time, but yeah. All right, so without further ado, does anyone know what my top game is? Anyone have a guess? I think I've spoiled it before. So if you've been here before, you may know what it is. I want to hear yours after as well, but I think some of you may know. I didn't actually see a guest yet, surprisingly, but you're close. You're close. You're close. It is Halo Reach. Not Halo 2, not Halo, not Halo 3. JS, you got Reach. Halo Reach, baby. It is my favorite game of all time and the most impactful game. I think either this or League is the game I've played the most. And the reason I put this game at the top, it could really be any Halo game, particularly like 3 or Reach. But for me, Reach is the most meaningful because it is the first Halo game that I specifically owned. 2 and 3 I played a lot of, but I was always playing those at friends' houses, and I didn't have an Xbox at the time. For Reach, my brother and I and our family, our siblings, we saved up to get like the Halo Reach version of the Xbox 360. I saw a picture the other day. That thing is still amazing, man. And we played so much this game, man. I think it was probably we played our online multiplayer games, obviously, like WoW and Call of Duty and stuff like that. But like, this was like the definitive game for us growing up. And the thing about it is it had everything you could want in a game. Like a lot of these games on the list so far have done one thing really well. In my opinion, Halo Reach did a lot of things very well, where it had the story, obviously, and you might think that Halo 2 or 3 is a better story. I think Reach is actually a really, really good story in that it's not your traditional story. It's a tragedy, right? And you kind of know, like, you know, people know what's going to happen going into it because it was a prequel, basically. But it is generally, I think, really well done, and you care about all the characters, but it definitely is, it'll tug on your heartstrings a little bit. So that's one piece. Multiplayer, obviously. Again, you could debate there's a different Halo game that's a better one, but to me, this was so much fun. I put so much time into multiplayer on here, particularly like SWAT and Big Team Battle and just regular mode and Infection. There's so many good modes in this, and I spent so much time in high school playing this with my brother and friends. And even, I don't know if Hayden's hanging out, but it's so much Halo Reach back in the day. People sometimes hate on the Halo Reach multiplayer and the bloom and all that, but I loved it overall. Yeah, SWAT was great, like Big Team, Infection, it supported that, and that was obviously like the core of what I played the most stuff on Halo Reach. But it also, music I talked about, I mean, Halo music is like, you might notice a lot of games on this list have iconic, like, generational music. I mean, Halo, Kingdom Hearts, Zelda, in my opinion, Ori and Tunic and Pokemon, like these all have like some of the best music in games, but Halo is definitely up there as like one of the best of all time. Yeah. So that's a part. And then the other thing that people overlook a lot is the Forge mode in here. And again, I think Halo 3 had some of these things, so you could like debate Halo 3 was the better version, but Reach had like specific Forge stuff built in. There's an entire world called Forge World that was just huge to build with. And I spent actually a lot of time building stuff in Forge in this game too. Like, what I would do is like go in, sometimes for a very long time, and make custom maps so that we could then go play them as a group with friends in custom games. And custom games are great too. So I think there's just so much in this game. You can even do like the lasso modes and like get the really hard single player stuff done. But yeah, there's not many games that check off great single player, great multiplayer, great customization, like, you know, custom map maker kind of stuff, great music. Like, it checks all the boxes for me. So yeah. And again, you could pick a different Halo game. I think that's also justifiable, but for me, this is the one that like I feel is my Halo, and like we really got into, and we had this Halo as like the thing that we, you know, it was the first Halo we actually had owned and didn't have to go over to somebody else's house to play. And so I really loved that piece of it. And that's why it sticks with me personally. It's still probably my favorite overall game. This is also why, by the way, I'm very sad we don't have another Halo game that has been as good, in my opinion, since Reach. Like, there's been at least 3 now since Reach, but in my opinion, this was Bungie's last good thing. Dude, RIP Bungie. I mean, especially these days. But yeah, this is a masterpiece. So hopefully someday we'll get another good Halo game that's comparable. We'll see. But that's my top 10 overall. And yes, it's now a boomer game. All right, so I want to hear what are your guys. What are your top games? And you don't have to pick 10, obviously, but like, is there one game that comes to mind as your top game overall that sticks with you? Either like your favorite game of all time or one that is the most memorable to you. I mean, that kind of showed my story there of like, you know, they weren't all when I was a kid. They weren't all when I was older. It was like kind of my lineage there of gaming. But I'm curious to hear what you guys say for yours. Skyrim for you out? Okay. Dude, Skyrim would probably be my brother's thing. Again, I talk about this, like I have a weird thing about like playing my own games, but my brother played so much Skyrim growing up that I think I just got burnt out of watching it. But obviously it's a fantastic game. I also think that those are not my types of games. You know, the super huge open world first person adventure RPG games. Like I like a much tighter kind of linear game based on what you just saw on that list. That's kind of what I realized while making this list, actually. So it's a fun exercise. I highly recommend that you do it to see like what kind of games you might like. But yeah. You're ashamed to say it, Ghost? You can say it, man. You can say yours. Diablo 2, Thanos? I've never played Diablo 2. I need to, man. I keep hearing that. I think that or PoE. I keep hearing at some point I should try it. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, DJ, that was a little before my time, I think. If I understand, I think that's the first one, right, that came out, but that's consistently mentioned as a great one, you know, one of the best of all time. So I don't blame you on that for sure. So Resident Evil Remake, Chariot, nice, man. Favorite of all time, okay. I've played just Requiem so far, but I wouldn't mind playing more Resident Evil games. I think we will play more of them at some point here. Little Big Planet 1 and 2 appear up. Nice. I feel like I've seen that one, but I haven't actually tried it yet. By the way, guys, the point of doing this is, and what I might actually do is like a poll in Discord. I would love to see like if there's a game or two that are consistently mentioned as your top most impactful games. I kind of want to try playing some of those just to try them out, because I'm looking for a game that has this feeling right now, because I don't have it. I haven't had it really since like Tunic, a little bit of Expedition 33. I want a game that like gets in my head and I can't stop thinking about, you know? So I'm taking recommendations on that front. KOTORs were definitely your big ones too, Dream. Nice. I know you got League on there in some capacity. Probably not R1, but Assassin's Creed Revelation, Neon. Okay. I need to play more Assassin's Creed games. Remnants of the Three Kingdoms 3 Enders. I don't know that one, man. I'll have to look that one up. That sounds pretty cool though. What, like, you can also mention like memory specifically. You have like something, like why do you like it, you know? You can also mention that if you want. Silent Hill 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Chrono Trigger, and Ultra Street Fighter 4. Okay, nice. That's a cool one. Yeah, the Chrono Trigger games I've heard are so good. Also music wise, very, very good. I just have never tried them, but like, I feel like that would probably be a good one to check out at some point. But it's also tough because like some of these games are so tied into your childhood, right? That they wouldn't hold up the same today necessarily. I mean, they do for you, but I feel like for somebody new going through, they wouldn't be quite the same. So sometimes it's hard to recommend them that way. Guitaro Man. Is it like someone who plays a guitar, DJ? No, that sounds cool. Pound for pound, the Orange Box, still gaming's best deal. The Orange Box, I don't know what that is. It's like a bundle of games. Did you say yours, Yude? Oh, PT, yeah, PT. PT is really good. I did play through PT a good bit. That was an awesome one. Myst and the Seventh Guest were the best in your youth, Cats. Nice. Myst is one, I've heard that's really good. I think we've almost done that for a key drop before. But yeah, that's like a puzzle game, right? I tend to like a lot of puzzle-based games. Puzzle / Metroidvania / movement kind of stuff. I like those, so... Should give Prince of Persia Lost Crown. Yeah, I should try this one, Mara. I think it got on Epic when it came out on Legion. It was pretty good. I don't think it felt really fluid to play. I think I didn't love the world as much. Like something of the Metroid and Ori worlds like really pulled me in. The Prince of Persia one was pretty cool, but it didn't hook me the same way as the others, but I could give it another try. I do own it actually. So at some point. Myst is on your list too? Okay, Myst we should do maybe. I think that one's on Game Pass. That could be cool. Donkey Kong Country 2. I had a song from that in here, Thanos, from one of the Smash Bros. Reworks. You love Twilight Princess as well, Chariot? Dude, I hope we get a rework at some point, man. Twilight Princess was so much fun to play it through. The thing about this list, too, is I feel like I'm forgetting some games. It's hard to remember every game you ever played. especially the ones that are on console and not on Steam these days. I'm sure there was some Game Boy Advance or GameCube or PS2 or DS game I played that maybe could be on here, but yeah, the Steam ones are more recent overall. Game called Pandemonium for PS1 that you remember playing and passing the remote every death. Nice. Yeah, for me, playing with friends and family is a big part of it too. Like, I'm a big social piece, so it's some of those games on my list that are not tied to social things. That's why they're on there, because they're like so impactful that I played through them without, you know, playing with somebody else or streaming or anything. It was just for me. Those are really rare, and that's what I'm looking for, kind of. Metal Gear Solid 2 for you, Jackson? Nice. Yeah, the Metal Gear Solid series, man. I played through a little bit, but not too much. So I definitely think there's a lot of appreciation for that. Yeah, you should get Ori, Neon. I recommend Ori. Orange Box is a collection of Valve's games, including Portal, Half-Life 2, Team Fortress 2. Oh, okay, I gotcha. All Valve stuff. Or I never had a PSP, man. I probably would have had Birth by Sleep on there, though, if I had a PSP. That was the only reason I wanted a PSP, was to play the Kingdom Hearts game. But yeah. Control, of course, Al's pinging that. Yeah, Control was good. And I know Al's excited for the sequel coming soon too. Well, I'm gonna play that one for sure. I played through like half a Control. I did like it, but problem is I never get to play it like off stream. I should probably give that another try as well. What's up, Ross? How's it going, dude? Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Aren't they reworking that game or something? Thanos, I think. It's a game called Pandemonium for the PS1 they remember playing and passing. I already mentioned that one, sorry. Yeah, I love like the games. I don't know if you guys had this too, where you play games as a group. Like for me, that was kind of WoW, and I actually played Last of Us that way in college, where it was a bunch of us kind of like passing a remote and kind of watching it being played. I think even like Heavy Rain originally was that way, and Kingdom Hearts, Sonic Heroes, a bunch of games I would like watch friends play or take turns playing. I actually loved those, even though you weren't playing it all yourself. The social piece made it more memorable for me. No, like the new one, Thanos. Isn't there Resonance, right? It's coming out next month, I think. I know Al's very excited for that. Something about Shadowgate. I don't know about Shadowgate, but that'd be cool. But yeah, guys, all to say, this is my top 10 list. I hope you enjoyed it, and it was cool to do. I kind of do more gaming focused ones. This is the first gaming focused episode of the podcast, so I hope you enjoyed that side. And if you want to hear more gaming stuff, let me know. Maybe we can do more lists, or I might even do like breakdowns of certain games, especially new ones that come out, or the gaming. I don't know. Well, gaming stuff I think is fun to talk about, obviously, with how much I've yapped tonight. So hopefully we'll do some more. And yeah, like, if you do have a game that you want, you know, that you really feel strongly about and made a lasting impact on you, definitely share it here or on a comment or something so I can see it. And I would love to do even like a poll and see what are the most common answers, because if there's a couple games people consistently mention as their top one, I kind of want to go through and try it just to see what I'm missing. Yeah, exactly, Dream. And also for those listening online, thank you for listening. New episodes every week, trying to get episodes out on Mondays if possible, with time permitting, and always recording on Sunday evening. So thank you for listening. All right, podcast official is done now, chat. Now we can talk properly. Thank you, Al. If you guys didn't know, I record this every Sunday and then it's up on Spotify. Try to get it out on Mondays. It just depends on time. I know I'm a sitter for work tomorrow, so that's a whole thing I have to get through, but we'll see. What game is the most played time, Mara? Well, that's what I was saying. I think it's probably League of Legends, just because I've been playing League for 10 years. I think you can check that online. The only one that might be is Halo Reach, but I don't know how you can check that. Maybe that's also checkable online? I don't know. It's one of those two. But I'm leaning towards probably League just because it's been like 10 years. Whereas I think I played Reach for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Not quite as long. We can curse now? I think it'll block it, but I don't know. At least on the overlay. You get a better game in there? No, Ross, you weren't here for the rant, dude. I'm telling you, man. I have strong feelings on it. I still have a soft spot in my heart for League. A lot of good memories, man. Mario Kart GP DX in the arcades is very memorable. Oh, on the arcades, really, Dingus. Interesting. I always felt, I think I played that, but yeah, that was interesting. It was like just the arcade version. I know what you're talking about. Fallout New Vegas. There might be a situation where we would play that game soon. Is all I'll say. We'll see. Here's by Destiny and Destiny 2 for most. Really, Ross? I said in the Halo one, I was like, man, Halo Reach was the last good thing that Bungie did. Sorry. There's an Station most play game, playing it now. Cat's nice. You still play that? When did that game come out? I always love people who are still playing games like a lot that haven't been out for a while, you know? That's always a cool sign. New Vegas is getting a remaster, is it? I don't know, maybe. No, aren't they doing like a second one or something? I think they confirmed, I don't know, is it Arcane or some studios making a new Fallout game, but I don't think it was confirmed to be New Vegas, was it? I don't know. Or maybe it's a leak, I don't know. D2 was never as amazing as D1, but it was still good. It's a fun game even now. Well, dude, I feel bad for Destiny players, man. I feel really bad. That and New World players, but more so for Destiny players, because they're even like hitting new player base peaks, and Bungie's just like, yeah, well, PlayStation's like, yeah, we're shutting that down and keeping Marathon going, which has like 1/10 of the players Destiny 2 has. It's crazy. It's like Mortal Kombat 11 just because you've yet to finish the campaign mode. Okay, yeah. See, like I never got super into fighting games besides Smash Bros, but I could have for sure. It's just, I think also what's nice about Smash Bros is it supports more players. You know, you can get up to like 4 people playing at a time, and I just like big groups of people, so that's why. You feel bad for Marathon players? yeah, both of them really. I mean, do you feel bad because they have to play Marathon? That's why I feel bad. Yeah, exactly, Ross. I mean, if they're smart, they should just make Destiny 3. Like, if they just want to make money, it would make money. I'm not saying it'd be good, but it would make more money than Marathon. That's for sure. Yes, Smash Bros, Ross. Because Smash Bros is the best. All right, chat. Let me get you a code. I do have to get to bed at a decent time tonight because I'm going to try to get up at 5 and work out tomorrow since I have to watch my kids while working tomorrow. That's going to be a process. Pray for your boy. Let me get my stuff pulled up here real quick. The one game where we need players to make sure the game was not killed. Yeah, I don't know, dude, what's going on with the Bungie stuff. That's the craziest loss in an acquisition ever too, by the way. Crazy that went the way it did. Maybe they'll come back to Halo someday. Probably not, but you never know. Neon, you loved Ori and AC Revelations and a few other AC games. Hitman 2. What would you suggest I play? Well, Ori, Assassin's Creed, and Hitman. I guess Assassin's Creed and Hitman are kind of similar. Ori is very different than that. But I feel like Hitman and Assassin's Creed, I would guess like stealth-based games to be up your alley. So, the James Bond game we probably like it's from IO, so that's probably pretty good. I don't know. That seems like that kind of archetype of game, if that's what you're looking for. All right, code, chat, first code for tonight. Also, I'm doing multiple codes coming up because I have 10 and I don't have 10 streams. So I think on Fridays, I might do multiple codes starting this week. But yeah, new giveaway for Steam card is open. First keyword is mile. I've been talking for a mile tonight. Also, yeah, I've heard Hitman's very good. Never played it before. But if it's kind of like this James Bond stuff, then maybe. Yeah, of course, Brett. Yes, I have to end pretty soon here, Banjo, because it is 10:15 for me, and your boy has to get up real early tomorrow. I'm gonna get up at 5, so I'm looking at currently. If I fall asleep in the next 2 minutes, chat, I can get about 6 hours and 45 minutes of sleep. Is that math right? I'm gonna math off. Anyway, I'm not looking at a whole ton of sleep. That's all you need. Listen, buddy, it's nice for you to say, is it? I will say, I think your minimum sleep quantity threshold adapts as a parent. I think you're kind of forced to adapt to that. So let me find someone to raid really quickly and see if anybody is on. Better fall asleep quick than go. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe read in my bed. That's the best, dude. Like, reading on the Kindle in bed will put you right to sleep. I'll tell you what, that's the best. Especially reading like something really wordy and makes you think about it. You're like just falling asleep. That puts me right to bed. Wait, finish what sentence, Al? I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it's a Pixel Watch. I mean, I honestly I just got it for free with my phone a couple years back. Also, you guys see the new Pixel phone that came out? That's a phone. I mean, I might get it eventually just because I get like a free upgrade, but talk about like a non-upgrade for a phone. Unfortunate, because I kind of like Pixel stuff too, but it's not looking super special. Let's raid Nolan. Why not? Pixel 11 Pro, yeah, it has less RAM, which I guess is the state of the world today, but it is what it is. I don't know. I'll get it at some point probably. There's more Kingdom Hearts music. Also, I'm gonna like keep adding to this playlist because I like having like ambient gaming music for yapping over. It's great. You're on the Pixel 9 phone and the Pixel 3 watch still? Yeah, I have the Pixel 9 Pro currently. And I'd like to get a new phone, mostly because the battery on this one just drains fast. And also, I might be going to Japan at some point soon. That's not confirmed, but maybe. And streaming from this thing, so I might need a new phone. Or a backpack, we'll see. That's the thing we're exploring. TBD. Anyone playing your top one to raid? That's a good question, actually. Can I check? Halo Reach? You think anyone's playing Halo Reach in the year of our Lord 2026? There are 3 people playing it. One guy's got 400 viewers playing it. Dang. I'm rating Nolan though, because we actually know him. You're going November, Ross? Nice. I think if I go, I'll be going in September, which is actually soon. I find out probably on Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see. For Legion. TBD. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll be live scheduled this week. It's a little bit different than usual, kind of. Tuesday's Legion, assuming that I have childcare. Fingers crossed. Wednesday on this channel is, by the way, Wednesday nights would be kind of like flex nights. You know, Sunday nights are always podcasts, Fridays are always gaming. Wednesday I'll do like reacting, gaming, music, I don't know, something. But I'm streaming Wednesday at 9, my next scheduled stream here, and then Friday at 9. Giving out codes and Steam keys on both of those, and maybe doing more YouTube content. We'll see. Trying to do the YouTube thing more this year. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys then. Have a good rest of your night. Bye-bye.